I mean, you know, like they go, oh, we only give a couple $100,000 to Wuhan. You're like, no.
Yeah.
Look at the money Fauci actually controlled. We're talking about billions of dollars over the course of years. It's like, oh, well, we didn't, fund that exact paper. Your tricky wording, you knew what you were doing. You knew exactly what was happening. And he denies it to the teeth. But these guys, just like all humans that do sketchy things, right? A human might get involved with the drug trade, but a scientist, no, they're special. They won't do anything bad or unethical. No, these are sick, twisted mother effers. And they'll do horrible things for the sake of pride and ego. And in the end, all they care about is the finding. And they want to make sure that they get credit for the finding. And if there are bad things that have happened to find that finding, just make sure it happened in other countries so people can't trace it.
Well, I mean, Fauci has a track record of killing people in a whole generation of people actually in Africa.
I know.
With the AIDS research and all the stuff that's quote unquote, I'm using a lot of quote unquotes tonight, but the quote unquote research that they did regarding AIDS in Africa. So the guy's used to it. I mean, again, and I go back to the point I said earlier, they've turned this into a god. Science has become the god. They worship this thing. And it has to be fed. The beast has to be fed, no matter what they want, whatever they need to do to find the means, to find the result, to get to the end of the hypothesis, they're willing to do it. We don't matter. We're just a number. All you got to do is turn on CNN right now, and I guarantee you they're showing a number. It's going to be how many people have had COVID, how many people have died from COVID, whatever you want to do. We're just a number.
Yeah, they had a ticker.
Yeah.
You know what I realized the other day, though? I was thinking about this when I was just doing housework. I was just like, oh, when you were born in the U.S., you are issued a number. Your social security number, and that is your identifying number for the rest of your life. I realized that, and I was like,
and try to not get one for your kid, and watch what the government does.
Yep.
Like I don't believe that you should have to register with the government in any way, shape, or form.
Nor do I. But when I realized that, I was like, oh shit, we don't even need to talk about dystopian realities. You're in one.
We've been living it.
You have a number. Every one of you has a number.
The reason we created the concept of dystopian realities, it's just like stereotypes. It's based on reality.
Yeah.
It's based on truth that exists. It's all built off of something. We know that it's there because that is f***ed up human nature.
Yep.
That's why they had the Nuremberg trials, because they were experimenting medically on human beings. That's why you have a Nuremberg code now, and we're violating the shit out of it.
Yeah, I just don't believe that these things don't go on in the United States.
They do go on in the United States.
Yeah.
If Jeffrey Epstein could have a ranch in New Mexico that was surrounded by some of the most powerful hand-me-down political families of New Mexico, and he could go in there and test everything from genomes to how to save his head in a bottle and his phallus so that he could procreate after death. And he wanted to knock up 20 young virgins.
He wanted 1,000 clones.
Yeah, he wanted to clone himself. He wanted all these little Epsteins out there. So if stuff like that can go on in New Mexico, yes, this other stuff is going on.
America? I mean,
I don't feel that united with it.